imitate. Yeah, you know, it's I am Mason, Fire Mason representing. Yeah, and you're listening to Blakk Rasta, keeping it real. Stay
Daniel, what that dying. And go Daniel. Oh, what that dying. This is the voice of the Patriot where we speak truth to power. Now, my brother, my sister, this is the voice of the Patriot where we speak truth to power. And today we have a number of issues to look at. This is our daily editorial. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and it says Ken Ejapong has signed his political death warrant. And this is Maurice Ampao speaking. Private legal practitioner Maurice Ampao has waded into the conversation surrounding former MP for Asin Central, Ken Ejapong, claiming that he has essentially ended his political future with his recent outburst aimed at key members of the NPP. Speaking in an interview on Wuntumi TV and cited by Ghana Web on June 24, 2026, Ampao urged NPP supporters to refrain from attacking Japan, arguing that the former Asin Central MP has already distanced himself from the party. Regarding the issue of Kennedy Japan, I would like to plead with party members to stop attacking him because no matter what, he is gone already. His spirit is not with the party anymore. According to Ampao, the former Legislators Association with Businessmen, Oti Bonsu, could further weaken his political standing within the party. Let me tell you something. Canada Japan, you have signed your political death warrant. He further questioned the political influence of Oti Bonsu, insisting that he lacks the capacity to build a viable political movement outside the two dominant parties in Ghana. Because the Oti Bonsu that you are following is not a politician but a businessman. He separated himself from the NPP because of bitterness in him, he said. Ampao also dismissed suggesting that a third political force could emerge to challenge the dominance of the NPP and the National Democratic Congress, arguing that Ghana's political landscape remains firmly rooted in a two-party system. When you live in a country where speaking the truth is antagonized, where speaking the truth is loaded, this is what you get. What did Kennedy Ejapong say that was not the truth? Do we have courts in Ghana? Are we serious enough as a nation to investigate some of the things that Kennedy Japan said? If yes, why worry? Now, the political landscape in Ghana is nothing but an occultic movement. They are cults, not political parties. When you belong to this political party, remember to keep every secret. No matter how much blood we drink in this party, keep it within the party. Never take it out till death do you part. Whatever we do in this political party, the stealing, the murder, the bloodshed, don't ever voice it up anywhere. My brother, my sister, what is the difference between this and a cult? An occultic movement. I thought political parties were supposed to come together to share ideas and to look at the forward movement of the nation. It's supposed to be a clash, a battle of ideas, intellectual discourse, commonsensical discourse. But no, in my country, party communicators are paid to talk, not to think. Party communicators hardly have any common sense. They are just there to release a plethora of insults. And that is it. Kennedy Japan said that his party, the NPP, could not finish even one hospital under the much touted Agenda 111. True or false? He said the contracts that were given were all given to party members who in turn sold the contracts for kickbacks. And he even gave an example that somebody gave his wife a contract, sold it to her for an 11% kickback. Is it true or is it false? Weak minds will sit on radio and TV and say, oh, that is the end of your political career. Yes, they might be right, because our political parties are no longer interested in intellectual discourse. They are only interested in sucking and drinking blood, the blood of the Ghanaian sufferer. Why should this thing that Kennedy Japan say end his career? Why should anything that Kennedy Japan says that is supposed to be the truth end his political career? Did the NPP sell contract slots or not? Did the NPP complete even one hospital under the Agenda 111 or not? My brother, my sister, Kennedy Japan also said that NPP couldn't end Galamsey because a lot of the NPP MPs were themselves engaged in Galamsey. If this is anything to go by, then we don't have a country. We only have idiots in power. An MP who is supposed to be responsible for his constituents, first and foremost, be responsible for the development and the forward movement of his nation, be engaged in dastardly acts that retrogress the nation. I can't think far. I can't think madness. Tell me. An MP who has been voted by constituents to lead them is engaged in destroying the land and polluting water bodies in the name of Galamsey. Is this one to an MP? Kennedy Japan says it and it's a problem. Contracts under the NPP were paid for kickbacks, corruption. He says it and you say it is the end of his political career. Then your party is not a party. It's an occultic movement full of blood-sucking idiots. It's painful, isn't it? When will patriotism be the center backbone, the central pillar of our nation? Sometimes I get so disappointed. People who should know better are those who are behaving like nitwits. No common sense. I get so disappointed every day. I read the news. Every day I watch the news reel. I am shocked. To Kennedy Japan, it's very simple. It looks like you don't belong to this occultic movement. Kennedy Japan is one man who can never be an occultist. His mouth cannot close. He's like me. My brother, my sister, that is why we cannot be thieves. The man who talks against stealing every now and then cannot afford to be a thief himself. True? They say when you go to equity, you go with what? A loud mouth? No. A big pot belly? No. You should go with clean hands. In other words, if you need to talk against wrong, don't be seen to be doing wrong yourself. To my dear Kennedy Japan, with all love and respect, it doesn't look like you belong to the political landscape of Ghana. You might have benefited a lot in the past. But it is time to distance yourself from these blood-sucking political parties. They are only there to destroy the taxpayer. They are only there to rob, to kill, just like the proverbial enemy in the Bible, the devil. I leave it here. The next thing I want to look at is taken from My Joy Online. And it says students increasingly involved in campus drug sales. NACOC Deputy Director. And I read. The Deputy Director of the Narcotics Control Commission, NACOC, Alexander Chumberima, has cautioned that the illicit drug trade has become increasingly common in tertiary institutions and trading colleges across the country. He disclosed that this development was uncovered through a nationwide survey conducted by the Ministry of Youth, Development and Empowerment, which mapped patterns of drug use and distribution with educational environments. I'll leave it here. My brother, our schools are now becoming porn hubs. Can I repeat it? Our schools are all of a sudden becoming porn hubs, especially the universities. Now the secondary schools are also learning. Social media has exposed the real people that we are. In the past, probably we were like that. But there was nothing like social media to show us this. Today we hear secondarians singing profane, talking about how they are so much in a hurry to go on vacation and eat big bananas. My brother, my sister, sometimes I look at these things and I lose hope. But I am not a pessimist. I am a very optimistic human being, an optimist. For that matter, I always push away this and hold on to nothing but reality. It is common knowledge that some of our females who dress up like prostitutes come from our universities. True or false? If you take your daughter to the university, teach her how to wear all the decent dresses. Within 1 week of being in the university, peer pressure. They will tease her and call her names. Mami Kolo, Sofo Mame, Gold Coast woman. Before you realize, she's wearing some of the miniest miniskirts you can ever find. Right now, it is even a certain kind of fashion for our young ladies and sisters to walk pantless. In other words, pantyless. They are ready. Anytime they find a banana, they don't even have the time to peel it. They eat it straight. And I'm speaking tongue in cheek. Why? Our universities all of a sudden becoming porn hubs. Every university I go to in Ghana, this is what I see. Some of them, they only dress like that in school. When their fathers are coming to visit them in school, they dress like the angels they are supposed to be. The moment their parents leave, they are ready for the porn game again. But Blakk Rasta, we are talking about drugs. Why are you talking about porn? They are Siamese twins. Prostitution begets drug abuse. True? In my days, the few prostitutes we had around smoked cigarettes. They graduated from cigarettes to alcohol and then to other things we can't even mention on radio. My brother, my sister, we were all here when a certain university here in Ghana had students use their school fees to gamble, to bet. Some used their school fees to buy taxis so they could use for Uber. Some of them just pushed their money into betting, and that was the end. My brother, my sister, that's what they did. The university had to expel them for non-payment of fees. It happened at KNUST, Kumasi. In my days, there was no betting except lotto, single 130. My brother, my sister, today every corner you would find Chinese betting centers. Our children are exposed to this. Children, 12, 13, 14, make so much money they don't know what to do with the money. It's time to get high. And when they get high, they enter holes. So you see how prostitution and drugs are so related, like Siamese twins. You can't talk about one without bringing in the other. When they make their betting money, they look for two things: drugs and sex. Tell me if it's a lie. When a young man makes money, what else does he look for? He's too young to think about any investment. Only a few of them will think about anything that is called investment. They are quick to enter holes like the snakes that they are. They are quick to use drugs. Now the problem is this. Now even on campus, people sell drugs. If they can use their school fees to bet, use their school fees to buy cars that they use for Uber, and so on and so forth, why can't they invest in something that will bring them quicker money? Drugs. My brother, my sister, this is no news. There is no school in Ghana that does not have a particular person or a number of people they can go to and get high. Same way, there are people who are also recruiting young girls for, what is that thing called? Call something. My brother, my sister, they become call girls. Hook up. That's the word I was looking for. Today, when you start talking about this, oh, stay away from drugs, keep yourself chaste, they see you to be colo. Oh, your eye no tear. In this time where you did there, you say what? So the students are mostly high. Marijuana no longer makes them high. Marijuana is like cigarettes to them now. You know what makes them high? Red. You know what makes them high? Some things whose names I am ashamed to even mention on radio. And it brings tears into my eyes because I have children. I don't know who they will fall victim to in their journey. How can this problem be dealt with? Again, it points to one and only one thing: responsible tuition, responsible tutors, and responsible home upbringing. In all, it's about the morals. Finished. Religion has failed us. Go to the jailhouses. It's Christians who are there. Those who are not there are not practices of theocracy. There are people who practice theocracy. There are people who believe in God and religion. There are more Christians in our jailhouses than we have thieves who have nothing to do with religion. 90% of all those in our jailhouses are religious, if not even more. Right now, it is not attractive to even be religious one bit. It is no longer attractive to go to church. It is no longer attractive to go to the mosque because your imam's son is in jail. Your pastor's daughter is doing hookup and smoking shisha. Your archbishop's son is dancing offbeat on social media and using all kinds of drugs that do not even have names in the medical dictionary. Your prophet's daughter is a porn star underground who can take any size. She doesn't need to adapt. She's ready. She's like an elastic. Anything enters smoothly, even without lubrication. Hallelujah. Mappen. most trusted alarm clock. It will crow at the right time, not 1 minute late, not 1 second early. Waking up not only the master or the mistress who fed it, but the rest of the community to be up and doing. Oh, remember when we used to tell each other, early in the morning, tomorrow when we hear the crow of the African black cock, you must know it's me, myself, and I, saying thank you for everything you've done for me today. And of course, previously. Yet when the festivities came, we were so much in a hurry to dehumanize the African black cock. What did we do? We assassinated it and served its corpse on our plates, which we proudly called food. This is the African history class with a big fat thick tall, standing erect and very hairy every morning like the cedar of Lebanon, surrounded by the beautiful blue blistering pinnacles of lapis lazuli, the African black cock. And this is our African proverb of the day. Now, anytime you hear an African proverb, do not be so much in a hurry to decode it without inviting the spirits of our ancestors to the reasoning table. This is our African proverb of the day. It is an Akan proverb. It says, and I quote, "The tongue cuts deeper than the sword." Ketrema. Tetrema, Echasini, Sikai. Oh my God. The sword cuts deeper, the tongue cuts deeper than the sword. My brother, my sister, the proverb highlights the power of words and cautions us not to hurt others with our utterances. That is all the proverb is talking about. My brother, can I tell you something? There is something worth talking about. When you make a mistake and a knife cuts you, it will heal. You will forget about it. How many times have you been cut by something sharp? Be it a sword, be it just a knife, or just anything sharp. So many thousands of times. Today, if you are asked, you might not even remember one of them. One specific deep cut you had, unless it left a certain big scar on you that is most noticeable. But if you are asked how many times you have been hurt by people's utterances, I can tell you 1,000,000. How a friend one day told me I will never make it in life because I had become Rasta. How a friend told me, if he had even told me in my face, it would have been okay. But he went to tell a girl that I had in my heart to marry one day that, oh, A, B, C, D, E, F. And when I heard that, it cut me deeper than a sword. How my employer looked at me and told me I was useless, and how he had regretted even employing me. We can count 1,000,000 of these, yet we can't even remember the blade cuts that we had in the past. You know why? Because words cut deeper than the sword. The tongue is sharper than the sword. That is why a lot of women remain unmarried. Because in our society, the women have the sharpest tongues. Now, also, you can't, now, what are we doing? Then she will go ahead and mention things that you will never forget all your life. True? If you find a woman who doesn't have a sharp tongue, her voice is louder than every voice in the house. In fact, Kojo Entry would say, Meka bakono na waka 10. Me meka bakono, onu de na waka 10 kra. My brother, my sister, be careful what words you say. Today we are shy to meet some people because of what we said about them in the past, not because we cut them with a certain knife. Yes, it's painful, but what we said remains with them like a scar. The other day, Lois called me to her office and said, "Oh, Blakk, that day that we said that thing, I was very, very hurt. You hurt me. You hurt me." I said, "Oh, really? What did I say?" And then she mentioned something that I had said in a passing that I couldn't even remember. So you see how people take words seriously? Be careful what you say. That is why they say speech is silver, silence is what? Golden. Okay? Be careful what you say to your friends. Be careful what you say in response. Have you observed that it's when people have differences and they quarrel, that is when they expose each other's secrets, especially women. Hey, whoa, and yan crofo, kununum na uni omoda. Kwame, mansa, husband, and yan anuma na uni nukoda, you know. Who cries, and when women are quarreling, it's nasty. They say things to each other that we men should not even hear ever. True? A lot of those things. But when men quarrel, it's a quarrel of bones. They hit each other, bah, bah. That is why men always come together after every fight. But women, it takes ages, years, and they never come back because they use words in their fighting. But men use knives, bones, and blows. Can I say that again? Let two women here start to fight. First, they will pull off each other's wigs. Then they start to insult each other's wigs. This is your wig. You know, the 50 cedis you buy for Canton to market. Look at the hedge or no so. Now say I got to shoe 20 pesos no. And no na would hear me rough. Who shoe way? Me cry shabby. Fioko. And I say Kwame and I say obe pewa. Kwame na unim say Kwame oni ajuada. Kwame oni mansada. Kwame oni ajuada. Oni akoshiada. Then she would mention 100 men that have slept with the man that you are holding in high esteem right now. She also gets angry. Then, when everything calms down, they don't remember the fight anymore. They remember the words. So it's difficult for women to fight. And you see them walking together again. True? Because they use words. But men use what? Bones, sticks. They would even tell you, men don't talk. We are man. It's only amongst my Ghana people that they would have to start the fight with an intro. You, I go choke your eye, You see my muscles, me, this my muscles, I go punch your balls, Then if I hear say you do, ow, then I go hit your big nose, Then after that, I go put you for the ground, I go, But it is the culture. But real men don't talk, they clash. Talking is reserved for the pretty ladies. Unfortunately, that is even more dangerous than the sword.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Papa J, and I'm a regular student of the African history class. I love the African proverbs, you know. Anomantua, original.
Yeah, this is Jack Coffee. Why? We're listening to Blakk Rasta, African history class. We also students here, and we like it. Yeah, more African stories, African history. You see?
The African history class. In fact, Blakk Rasta has brought something new. And this is where we are all listening to our own history. Ghana, Bakwasem, Bibi Mai, Bakwasem, Black, Nyamisha.
Otororo mono African history class am. Otororo mono African history class am. Blakk Rasta grono. Agbolosu no alodo. Agbolosu kete kretu padang panyato makazo brogidigi so wonu mamo keke levada levo. Agbolosu chakrisu ebe no gumofali keke tomodo akponu yedokonu agbegbe ahove edamela chianko achakonu logosiam odubu buyebu esuje hono tom nyina wewu kotokolo wuto afapora wula mowo noma omiavedu tete milete tutele kaba mavu pompo ebe no zimojade kazumado abonu kredo agbatre o agbolosu no alodo Blakk Rasta moyo zo drama odomo melekemo to agabo wono cho fear
This is the African history class, and my name is certainly Blakk Rasta. Now, today, several years ago, African people put themselves on the map of history. This is what is referred to as today in African history. Now, today in 1919, Kwame Nkrumah was only 10 years young. Black Star Line was launched by Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association, NIA. Today in 1975, Blakk Rasta was only 1 year old. Mozambique achieved independence from Portugal. Today in 1996, Blakk Rasta was 22 years old. American rapper Jay-Z released his debut album Reasonable Doubt today in 2024. Oh my God, Blakk Rasta was 50 years old. Thousands of people stormed Kenya's parliament buildings to protest the passing of the government's 2024-2025 finance bill. And finally today in 2009, dubbed the King of Pop, he is regarded as one of the most culturally significant figures of the 20th century. Michael Jackson, American singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, and actor, passed on this day. Oh, this was the day Michael Jackson said bye-bye to us. Do you remember? Michael Wacko Jackson. Oh my God. Michael Wacko Jackson. My brother, my sister, he said bye-bye to us today. And we remember Michael Jackson today. We will never forget Michael Jackson. Oh, good old Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was born today. My brother, my sister, he passed on today, I beg your pardon, today in 2009. Can you believe how many years have already gone by? Michael Wacko Jackson, may his body, mind, and soul rest in perfect peace as we remember him today. Today in 2009, Michael Jackson said bye-bye to us. He was a wonderful dancer. He was a wonderful singer. He was a man who became known as the pop legend of our time. Michael J. Oh my God, what a dancer. Hey, which way? My name Blakk Rasta, that's #1, and
this is 3FM.
In the African History class today, we're taking you all the way to the beautiful continent of Africa. Now, there is a ritual, and we're going to be looking at that. My brother, my sister, what is this ritual all about? In most African societies, when a woman gives birth, the first thing to do after the baby comes out is to bury the placenta. They can leave everything in the hospital. Their money, their clothing, but placenta, never ever. Amongst the Hausa people of Nigeria, the placenta represents fertility. If they make a mistake and a dog picks it up and eats it up, the woman would be barren forever after this one child. The placenta is not only just buried, they most of the time will put the placenta in a pot, cover it up and put it there. And normally, years after, when old men and women are talking, they are proud to say that your placenta was buried at the back of the house. And Ewenam has shown us her placenta. You know, this is what the placenta looks like. It is an afterbirth. When a woman gives birth, if the placenta doesn't come out, there's a problem. My brother, my sister, the placenta provided a lot of nutrient to the baby. Whilst it was in there, the placenta joined the baby to the mother in one way or the other in terms of almost everything the mother went through. They communicated through some of these means. What the mother ate, the pain the mother felt. Sometimes when the father even came close and held the mother, the baby felt it through some of these means. So the placenta is a spiritual thing. In some African societies, a bad person can steal a placenta, and this placenta can be used to seal off every kind of birth from the family. Nobody can give birth. They use it for juju. In modern times, the placenta is used for hair creams. Yes, in making hair creams, in making skin, you know. And if you Google out that right now, placenta made products, beauty products, so-called beauty products, they have some of these things in there. But in the indigenous African society, my brother, my sister, the placenta means continuity of the bloodline in terms of childbirth. Therefore, indigenous African families would actually go straight for the placenta right after the child is born, so that the placenta can be buried, and even the place marked. My brother, my sister, again in modern times, the placenta is used to make beauty creams and some other such things. Today, we took you across Africa so you could see some of these wonderful traditions we have.
Luca Production.
Fire, fire.